Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another video of Forex lessons with Sibusiso Mdiniso. My name is Sibusiso, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you guys market analysis on US30 and XAUUSD, which is gold. So if you are new to this channel, please be sure to subscribe so that you can be able to get notified when another video gets uploaded. So without wasting any further time, let's go into US30, and then I'll be sharing with you guys what I see for the upcoming week. So to start off, we're gonna go into a weekly time frame. So in a weekly time frame, we're gonna look at what the market is currently doing, well, what the market is doing in overall. So you can see that you can safely see that US30 has been pushing to the upside, and then you can see that in the previous 2 weeks, looking at the three candlesticks here, you can see that this one was bullish, and then there we had a candlestick here that is a shooting star, and then after that we had another bullish candlestick forming a bullish engulfing. So we can safely say that in overall US30 is in a bullish momentum. So you can now go to the daily time frame. So looking at the daily time frame, you can see that what we spotted there in the weekly time frame actually checks out here. You can see here that it broke this area here, that is, it broke this higher high, and then once it was done doing that, it retested, right? So it broke that, and then it retested. So now it's, and then after it retested, it went to the upside. So we can see that here we have our trend line, that is, we have our two touches there, right? But if you can, looking at the price there, we can draw this trend line. There's nothing wrong with it, but we're trying to be as close as possible to the chart. So it's best if we draw our trend line there. Okay, and then now we're gonna go to a 4-hour time frame to actually show it clearly, to make it clear drawings. And then you can see also here the what we saw there was not clear, so now we're gonna make it clearer. Okay, and then now we can see that as we spotted here the higher highs, we can also see another point here and there. So we see that we created higher highs here, there, and then here these are higher lows. And then you can look, looking at this structure here, you can see that we're on a uptrend. And then how do I see that? The trend line, we look at the trend line, we have two touches there at the higher high, and then two touches there, sorry, two touches on the higher high, two touches on a higher, two touches on a higher low, and two touches on the higher high, sorry. And then you can see now, looking inside that, we see that we had an impulsive move there, and the impulsive move, let me just draw it for you, and then we started correcting, and then now we broke that correction, and then now we're currently on a impulsive move. So meaning that this is our correction. So please forgive me for the noise that is happening outside. There are people, they were making noise, but I'm sure that you're okay with that. So we can see that. Okay, so now we can go to a 1-hour time frame just to make sure that we get the touches right. Okay, so you can see that the market was, like, you can safely see now, it's clear now that here with an impulsive move correction, and then it broke the impulsive move. Now we are currently on the impulsive move, and then you can see that the market is pushing, trying to get to this resistance there. So now as it is approaching this resistance here, there are two things that can happen. So the market here can start doing this type of a pattern, correcting, and then which safely mean to us that we're going to look for ways to sell up until we get to this potential support here, right? Or it can break out here and then start correcting to the downside, which will then safely mean that the price might then push to the upside to create a new higher high. So that's it for US30. So right now what we're going to do, we're not going to do anything. We're going to just watch and see when the market opens again. We're going to watch and see what US30 is doing, and then we're going to actually act upon what US30 will be doing well when we see that, right? So let's go on to XAUUSD. So same thing here, we're gonna start off going to the weekly time frame. So you can see same thing that is happening on US30 day. We can see that XAUUSD, that is called, here's a bullish momentum, but here what happened here is that we had an impulse, right, and then started correcting. But the reverse here, if you can go back here, you can see that it started reversing, that is, it created a higher high there, but this part here is no more, like, it's no longer important. This is what is more important. That is what is like happening currently here. So we had an impulse move, and then we started creating a correction, right? So here I can just draw this way, right? And then here the last last two candlesticks here, they then started to reverse, which is now we are what, we are at the bullish momentum for XAUUSD. So if I can go to the daily time frame, you can see it much more clearer what I'm talking about. So you can see that let me just fix this. So you can see that here we had an impulse move, then we had a correction there, and then you can see here, the reason why I'm saying now we are reversing going to the upside is because XAUUSD respected this support there, right? You can see that. So now then after that, at this touch here, it created what, a bullish engulfing, which means that now we are looking for ways to go to the upside. So now when I go on a 4-hour time frame to actually see see if you can spot anything that is happening there. So if I can try to explain what like has been happening here, I can safely say that XAUUSD was shooting to the downside, and when it got here, it started correcting to the downside, right? They started creating a correction, and then it broke that correction, right? Once it broke that correction, it then retested, creating a last kiss. This is what we call a last kiss, and then it went impulsive to the upside. So this area here, these two candlesticks here, is what we call our impulsive move. So meaning that if I go to a 1-hour time frame, I will see that this was an impulsive move, and then after that, XAUUSD started to correct to the downside. So let me just draw this. So it started to correct like this. So currently we see that we are on a correction, and then we can see that the price is there. So now what can happen here? So there's actually two things that can happen. So what can happen is that the price of gold can go to the upside, and then when it get there, it can correct, right? Once it's done correcting, then we can safely put the sell up until we get there, or it can drop, get here, and then when it gets here, it can correct, right, and then push to the upside, right? Or there's like many ways that it can happen here. It can drop down here up until it gets here, and then it can do that kind of correction, and then this one will be much more easier, which is just going to be up until it gets there. Or it can just lastly, it can just break out there and then correct to the downside, and then go to the upside there. So there's actually 4 ways that it can happen there. But now if you can try to narrow these ways to make sure that we get to the closest possible, we can just make sure that we keep the analysis closer to what to where the price has been moving. So for me, if I'm looking at this correction here, I can also safely do correction like this one here. So this one can be much more easy, right? Can be much more easier here. So I just know that there's two ways that can happen. So the first way is that the market can come here, then when it gets there, it can correct there, because I can see that the market has been struggling a lot to go below this price here. So I can say this is our support, right? And then when it's done doing this correction here, and then it can just go to the upside, go to the upside up until it gets there. But this is going to be our first target, this area here. Let me just circulate this area here. It's going to be our first target, and then that can be our second target. Or the price can just go to the upside and then correct, right? And then come to the downside and then start correcting and then push to the upside, right? So the entry for this one can be correction, then come to the support there, and then the last one can just break the structure and then correct to the downside and push to the upside. So for this one, we can, I think doing this way is much more easier. So we can just wait for this one to see what the market is going to do for us, or what the market is going to give us. So if you have anything or you have any comment regarding the analysis, please make sure that you drop that on our comment box. And if you like the video, please make sure that you hit the like button, and just make sure that if there's also another thing that you would like to, well, if there's a pair that you would like me to analyze for you, just make sure that you to put that in the comment box, so that I can be able to put that when I'm uploading another video, that is next week. So thank you so much for watching until this very end. Make sure that you enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.